I want to bring in Kayleigh McEnany, co-host of Outnumbered, and Rich Lowry, National Review's editor-in-chief. And you know I'm on there all the time, checking it out. Kayleigh, could you just listen to Karine Jean-Pierre and the White House? I would say they're in a credibility crisis. Watch.
Has the White House misled America?
There is a comprehensive full comprehensive medical report on the website.
This is the second time in less than a week where the briefing had prompted a need for later clarification on questions about the president's health. And I'm just wondering if you could speak to...
So I disagree.
Have the last 12 days made you reconsider any specific statements that you might have made in recent months?
I've always been committed to doing the best I can to give you the information that we have.
One of the problems, Kayleigh, when you get into a timeline story is that as the press secretary, if you don't know the timeline and if you aren't confident in it or you keep getting new information, it might not be your fault. You are then having to respond and correct, which she had to do again about the doctor that saw the president.
And she'll have to do it a third time because last night the Associated Press came out and they said, look, we were told that this January 17th meeting with the Parkinson's specialist did not involve the president's health. Later, the White House came out and undercut their previous narrative and said, oh, it was pertinent to his physical. So this is a third time. You're exactly right, though. She's only as good as the information she's getting. I got these questions all the time about when's the last time the president had a COVID test? So it was up to me to go to Dr. Conley, to go to the president himself. When's the last time you had a COVID test? I wasn't there for the COVID test. So she's only good as the information she's getting from Dr. O'Connor, from the president. But nevertheless, a third time cleanup in 3 days.
And the chief of staff.
Rich?
Yes.
As the token non-former White House press secretary on the panel, I'll just say it's an iron law of high politics that when a leader's health is failing, people around him lie about it. I mean, that just happens throughout history, one. Two, nothing that's happened the last year. These questions should have been asked a year ago, but the press ignored obvious evidence that he was failing in decline. And finally, I would just say, I think Biden, for the moment, has won this game of chicken with his own party. But that Nancy Pelosi clip was fascinating. You have the President of the United States saying repeatedly, I've made my decision, I'm in, forget about it. And this extremely powerful Democratic figure saying, he hasn't decided yet.
Let's go to a call for number 6 in a moment here, and I'll just set it up for you because we don't have a VP pick on this ticket, right? Milwaukee is there 5 days away? Is that right? So you heard the reporting about Brian asking Trump on the radio, asked about whether or not J.D. Vance's beard was going to be a problem. He said it makes him look like Abraham Lincoln. The question about abortion with Doug Burgum, given the laws in North Dakota. He addressed that. And also this question about Marco Rubio living in Florida, the same state that Donald Trump comes from. He said it makes it complicated. So that was the initial reaction there. Here is Trump last night on his prior feud with Marco Rubio.
We're thrilled to be joined tonight by many fantastic Florida patriots, including a man who's become really a friend of mine. We had a vicious campaign for a while, and he was tough and he was smart. And I got to really know him well over the years, and he's a fantastic guy, Senator Marco Rubio.
He referred to him many times last night. Kayleigh, who makes the most sense?
Marco Rubio makes a ton of sense. I'd make him a top 3 consideration. Glenn Youngkin, whose name is not on the radar, makes a ton of sense. I'd take Virginia off the board and make it even more challenging for Biden. Tim Scott, I could see a valid argument for him. Marco Rubio, though, there are those, as Mark Levin has pointed out, the 12th Amendment considerations. Not only would he have to move his residence, he's the senior senator from Florida. So how does that go down? He can no longer hold that role. So a lot of considerations. But Marco Rubio, I mean, a top pick, I would say. I mean, young people, Latino voters, smart, bridging the gap, foreign policy. He's great on abortion. He has a plan for women with unplanned pregnancies. Smart pick.
The residency thing is a significant complicating factor. I would just underline Glenn Youngkin. He's definitely in the dark horse category. The odds aren't in his favor. But if you put Virginia in the map, I mean, you, in theory, wouldn't need any of the blue wall states if you could potentially carry Virginia. And he has suburban appeal in all those blue states, blue wall states. They're suburbs, right? They're suburbs all around the country. If you can get anyone, whether it's Marco or Youngkin, that can help a little bit narrowly in the suburbs, it could make a difference if this race gets tight again.
Just one quick note, when Trump talked about his VP pick with Sean Hannity, he said, 1, I want someone who can step in and be president, but 2, I want someone who helps me get elected. Interesting that note was in his mind, because that really narrows down
Yeah,
the
I
field.
think it's a mistake to consider this election a gimme. The odds have obviously shifted in Trump's favor, but a lot of people are dug in. A lot of people are going to vote for Biden no matter what, the same way they did with Fetterman in Pennsylvania. So with Trump, I think it's get over the top, get elected. Then you worry about governing and getting along with your vice president, you know, for the next 4 years. But getting there is the key thing.
All right, well, it's awesome to have you two here. Hey, love to have you back.
Maybe I'm aspiring White House president. How about that?
Hey, that could be arranged.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Kayleigh.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.